I'm Kate.
I'm Sam.
And we are teachers who practice self-care. I use that word practice because it is definitely something that we are both working on, but it's so important. Teaching can be such an exhausting profession. A lot of people on the outside who are not in education look at us and they think we have these amazingly short hours, but the reality is we are at school for a long time. We're bringing work home, and it's emotionally and physically very draining. So
not an age-free job.
No. We have a couple of tips that we've been working on to help us kind of take care of ourselves so that we can be better versions of ourselves, so we can also be better teachers for our students. One of those things is to set personal boundaries. This is really challenging, and it's a hard thing, especially I think when you are a newer teacher. And over the years, I've been working more at this to get a little bit better at setting up some boundaries, but it can be something as simple as letting parents know at the beginning of the year that you don't respond to emails past a certain time in the evening, or if you don't want to hardline it, you can even say, I will get back to emails within 24 hours.
And that's a really great thing to bring up at back to school night, where you can kind of set the expectations and be very clear and follow through, because if that one time you send an email at 7:30, they're going to kind of expect that. So really setting those boundaries. And Kate uses Boomerang a lot. So,
or not even Boomerang anymore. Now Google has this great option where you can just send an email later. So it has a little drop down arrow on the bottom. And it's easier for me when I read an email because I have a really bad habit of checking my email right before I go to sleep, which is not great. But I used to email parents back immediately. So one thing that helps me, because it's easier just to get it out of the way when I see it, is to use that send later, because then at least it sets the appearance and it creates that tone of this is when I respond to emails.
Especially if it's about something that happened earlier that day, this really helps you keep it fresh. Another thing that I think really helps is finding a hobby, and that could be something as simple as going home and watching your favorite TV show, going home and playing video games, which is kind of my hobby, which kind of gets in the way of other hobbies. But, you know, finding something that you really enjoy that can get your mind off of your day-to-day activities that you need to do at work. And it's just another way to rewind from your day and take a step back.
Absolutely. I love to bake, so sometimes that is something that I will do after school or on a weekend just to clear my head and do something that is pure enjoyment for me. I also used to take a dance class years ago, which I've been meaning to get back into, but doing something like that, I know you love going. Yeah, I took a dance class. It was hard because it was on a weeknight and it went late, so sometimes you have to find something that might make you a little tired the next day, but you have to balance and figure out if it's worth it. I know for you, your Thursday night is movie night, and you and your fiance go to a movie every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Everybody asks me about what movie we saw on Friday.
The next thing we wanted to talk about is mindfulness. So this, for some people, could be yoga, could be meditation, it could be journaling, a gratitude journal. For me, it just looks like taking some deep breaths, focusing on my breathing for a few minutes each day. This is something you can do in the car on the way to work. Sometimes I'll practice breathing exercises. Sometimes I'll do it if I have a few minutes when the students are at specials, or I know you set up a time in the morning.
I set up a time in the morning to actually do journaling, and this was something that was really hard for me to do because it's very personal, and I think that you really find out who you are that you didn't even know was a part of you, or something that was bothering you that you didn't know. But it's all in that journal, and it's also a nice way to get something out and just kind of putting it behind you. And
it helps you start the day off on the right foot because you go into the classroom and you've kind of released your baggage before you get in there.
Yeah, and something I like to do with my positive journaling, as I like to call it, is I put in questions in my journal to promote positive thinking, and it really helps during the stressful part of the school year, especially when it was in that heavy-duty time in February, March, and April, right before spring break or right after spring break, where you kind of have that extra haul. That's just something that really worked for me, and once I go back to school, I haven't done that in a while, but it's something I want to definitely keep track of.
Yeah. And last but not least, exercise. This is probably my number one stress reliever during the school year and beyond, even when I have nothing to do on the weekends or in the summer. I feel like I just function better as a human being, and especially as a teacher, when I'm getting that energy out. And I know we both prefer working out in the morning, but if you don't have time to get to the gym in the morning, you can do a workout at home. There are so many amazing
YouTube
channel options.
So many.
So many. And this is something that even during a stressful time at the end of last year, there were a million things going on. I didn't stop until about 10 o'clock at night. I came home and I turned on one of the YouTube videos and I did about a 30-minute workout because I just felt like I had to get that energy out. So just setting aside, even if it's 15, 20 minutes, whatever you have to move your body, get some of that nervous energy out, can really help clear your mind and get you to a place so that you can be the best version of yourself.
I agree.
So if you have any other tips or ways that you care for yourself as a teacher and as a human being, we'd love to hear about it because we're always working on this. Again, it's practicing self-care. Practice makes maybe not perfect, but better.
Makes more practice.
So let us know your tips. We'd love to hear it. Thanks for popping in. See you next time.